Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Taurus, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Moon card. So when you see the moon, remember that what comes up here is very often an echo from the past, okay? And the Moon card itself has a relatively, well, not even relatively, it just has a very nebulous kind of energy about it. So this week, if you find there are things, people, situations, energies, emotional states from the past coming up, they're literally just for you to observe, and what they're revealing to you is what your fear is around that specific thing. Once you know that, you can literally just find a way to let it go. And you know, that's not to say like, oh yeah, you should just be able to let everything go really easily. We know it's never an exact science, and we know it's rarely that, you know, that simple. But once something is revealed to us and we know it, it's really hard to unknow it. And once you can sort of see something for what it is, you can let go of the thing that's causing it, or at least do the work around that. The other thing is, remember the Moon card tends to bring things and people back into our lives from the past. So with that said, this could be a little bit of an odd week, and you know, for that reason I just want to give you a heads up. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you are if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options this week, you've got the Temperance card. So this really is about taking your time with it. This is not a week to rush it. It's not a week to force it, and it really is not a week for you to... The reason I say this is because this, like literally one way that you could read this combination is past drama, okay? And you've got the Temperance card in your sector, your actions and options. This is about what you do. So it could be that this week, you know, and none of us are adverse from it. None of us are exempt from it. We all have moments where the drama is us, okay? That's just part of the human condition. I'm long past this whole, look at me, I'm so perfect, because I'm so far from it. And so it's really important that we normalize being messy and, you know, having our moments. That being said, the Temperance card, so the word temperance literally means patience. Have patience with yourself while you're healing something from your past this week. Have patience for yourself while you are integrating a lesson from the past. Now, one way that this Temperance card could show up for you as well, this could literally see you looking at where you are creating a situation or perpetuating a situation for yourself. Like if you're unbalanced inside, your life is going to be unbalanced outside. And this week you're really getting an understanding of how that actually sort of, you know, what it looks like on the ground, let's say. The other thing, finally, because it is the Temperance card, it looks like some of you are going on, or certainly looking into gaining a qualification of some sort, which could be very, very nice. For your communications and conversations, you have the Two of Swords. This is really interesting because there's something about this. When I turned this card over and I looked at this underneath the moon, something in me said this is an old piece of the puzzle. It's a piece of information that comes to you this week that answers an old question. This could be something as mundane as, you know, I put that ring down 5 years ago that day and I've never been able to find it. And then you remember something and then you go into like an old box and you find the ring in there. It could be something as mundane as that. It could also be you have a conversation with somebody and they give you a piece of information or a different perspective on something that happened in the past, and it completely changes how you see something. It completely helps you reframe something from your personal past, which could be both exciting and maybe even a little bit unsettling. So that will be interesting. When it comes to those of you that are students or studying, again, there's this, I just get this feeling like this is about you going for some of you, this might be choosing to add a qualification of some sort to the work that you're doing, which is, that could be really exciting. As an example, I know if you are, let's say, if you're an astrologer, maybe you decide to start learning tarot. It's like you're adding something to you're choosing to add something to your bow this week. So if you're already in some form of study, this could be you deciding that you want to add, there's something else that you want to add to the repertoire. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is somewhat slightly more difficult for you guys, because obviously you tend to have colleagues, you tend to have bosses. And with this could be an old recurring situation that arises with a colleague. It might be, you've had to tell somebody several times about, the way that they act, the things that they say, etc. And it's like this week it could just be one time too many. So try to have patience, hold on to yourself this week, because there's a potential for you to want to lose your rag. When it comes to those of you that are employed by self-employed business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, I like the Two of Swords in that your intuition is definitely alive and kicking this week. What this also suggests to me as well is that some of you are either having your best ideas at night this week, or you're working late into the night. It's like something's going on, and rather than being able to sort of rest with it, it's like you're having to, it's like, no, I've got to work on this now. And it's likely to be taking you long hours, and possibly into the nighttime in some way. And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, I really just want to say this could be a great week to do some kind of therapeutic journey. Like if you can see a therapist or a counselor or maybe even a shaman, like this would be a really great week for that kind of work. Especially if there is an element of talking therapy around it, because it's like you're detached enough from your own feelings around your stuff to really see it clearly. So that could be interesting. For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Pentacles. So this is connections and concerns around money, resources and finances when it comes to a partner, for your significant other. So whether you're married, partnered or in a long-term commitment, this could also be an old financial so one way that it could show up, maybe this week you and a partner decide, right, we're going to clear our debt in, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. Maybe you're creating a 4 or 5 year plan. That's one way that this could show up. Another way that this may show up, though, is an old debt or something that you thought you'd paid or have forgotten to pay could resurface this week. So if it comes up, don't freak out, just get to it as quick as you possibly can and get it done. When it comes to your, for those of you that are single and looking, that Four of Pentacles, you're going to be very aware this week of where you start. Like if you're wanting to get in a relationship and it just seems to elude you, or you're always picking the wrong person, etc., this week you could become really aware of where it is that you are getting in your own way in terms of a personal relationship. Okay, so like I really like this because it's like you're really clear on what your relationship stuff is, and you're able to get rid of it that much easier. For your money and materials, you have the World card. Okay, so I like this for interactions with a bank, especially for those of you that are coupled, married, or in long-term commitments. If you're needing to approach a bank about something when it comes to your resources, if you're needing an extension on a loan or a mortgage, etc., I actually really like this for that. I will say, if you are choosing to go down that route, try to limit yourself on how much you take, or how, etc. Like, don't get crazy with it. When it comes to your money in the immediate, this could be conversations about moving into the next pay bracket. So if you want to sort of hit the boss up for a raise, etc., once you've dealt with whatever, the is that you're having, you could do that. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your bones, your physical structure, especially because it's next to the Four of Pentacles. This could also be that a partner's health, their knees, their, bones, their, maybe not so much their teeth, but definitely their knees and their bones. A partner's knees or bones could be subject of conversation this week. as could an elderly person's, like, you know, grandmother, aunt, uncle, great uncle, etc. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, this is a community interaction of some kind, or an event from a community or in a community that was supposed to happen, that has only, you know, maybe it was on delay because of the whole pandemic situ, and this week it finally goes ahead. So I do see some really nice stuff here, but I also see a powerful week of integration in some way, shape or form. So with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.